In this remarkable world we live, we stand amazed at the grandeur of creation. We open our eyes and are amazed. We find creative design, but we also find chaos. How do these things coexist? Is one perceived and the other real? If so, what is true? For what are we all yearning? Hello and welcome to What is True. I'm so thankful that we can be here today. I'm thankful to God that we have been enabled over the past 25 years to study God's Word together. We're pushing the 25-year mark of What is True, and I am so thankful. And we are going to engage in a study of the book of John. Who is Jesus? My appeal to you in the course of this study, beginning today and for the next few weeks, is to allow you to see with me what God has revealed for us in this word. When we say, who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Through the Gospel of John, we go to the Gospels because they are historical records of the one who came. In the book of John, and we're going to give you some facts about the book, and I'm going to try to do this as an introductory lesson to hopefully capture your attention because of the uniqueness of something that is stated in the book of John. It's unique to this book, and it's something that we need to learn. It was written in the first century by John, the son of Zebedee. And it's interesting that it was at Ephesus. It's considered written in the late 90s, which means that he's at Ephesus where there were a lot of problems and there was going to be difficulty. Timothy was sent there to appoint elders in the 60s. Now we're in the 90s, and you know what is about to happen. John is about to be taken to the Isle of Patmos and reach the end of his life. This book is the revelation of how we can learn who Jesus is. Now, full screen now, we'll just take you through some points. Number one is that 92% of John is not in the other synoptic gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke. 92% of John has something else in it, and it's unique. Doesn't have any parables. It doesn't tell stories, and then let's lay them aside. It generally will reveal personal, interactive accounts in the life of Jesus. This becomes cataclysmic. I mean, this is just a huge opportunity so we turn and see how to respond in life circumstance, because Jesus did not have heaven on earth, and nor do we. And so why should we be gravitating to this one? Well, okay, then continuing, Mark, as far as full screen again, that Mark begins with the gospel and the baptism of Jesus. Matthew and Luke begin their gospels with the birth of Jesus. The feeding of the 5,000 is the only miracle that's recorded in all four gospels. So we have some other unique aspects that we'll be reading and learning through the weeks. But here's the part that we're going to focus on for the few minutes today and maybe get your attention. Jesus, his birth is not recorded in the book of John. No beginning. Open the book here. In the beginning was the Word. So biographical, historical, the interactions, the personality, but theologically we discover and experience the abundant life. Now this is going to be a huge challenge when you consider the chapter division timeline. Chapters 1 through 12 covers 3 years, approximately. And chapters 13 through 20 cover about 1 week. And it is the intensity of the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus, and some of the personal interactions, for instance, with his mother and the disciple whom he loved. We get to see the life application. So what we're doing is we are engaging in apologetics. And to engage in apologetics of the nature or a formal defense or a justification of something, such as a theory or religious doctrine. And my objective and my responsibility as a work of an evangelist is, who is Jesus? My work is to preach Jesus. And so I'm engaging in apologetics. That is the reason why I believe. And actually, the purpose of my moments here, if you will stay with me, is to cause you, the hearer, to believe in Jesus as the Son of God. And how would this be done? With words. How do you believe anything that you believe? You take the confirmation of the evidence. John 20, 30 and 31, hopefully you will become familiar with this passage in the course of the study, because it will help you to realize the importance of why we have programs like What is True, and we open the Word. These things are written. This is John 20, the end of the book. We'll get there soon. These things are written that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son. He is the Christ. And that through believing, through believing, you can have life in His name. Life in His name. So these are all things, concepts that we live in a world that believes in Jesus. In our country, No, the majority of the world doesn't. The world has not yet truly examined what we have here, and hopefully through YouTube, Facebook, and your help, we will get this word throughout the world again and again. Jesus said, "The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life." And so if these are the recorded words of Jesus and we receive them, then there should be spirit and life. Now that word spirit in and of itself, to those who may be agnostic, unbelieving, or just simply contemplating the theories that are out there, has yet to come to what spirit and life truly are in Jesus Christ. The Gospel of John. We're going to begin today with John 1, verses 1 through 5 and verse 14, because this will give us what we need to know is before us. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through Him, and without Him nothing was made that was made. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. There is here what my Bible paraphrases or introduces the paragraph, the eternal Word. And that is where you and I, are going to try to grasp the eternal Word. Because when we open the book of John, what we discover is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. He was in the beginning with God. So they existed prior to the beginning, eternal. And then we're coming to us contemplating eternal. Because is something missing from your life? Well, I mean, we could snatch a list up so quick that we could say, I need this, 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 and this. And then when we have someone missing from our lives, then we wonder, how can these things be recaptured? How can we come back from what we have lost? Or how can we